suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan has escalated her conflict with Senate President Godswill Akpabio to the United Nations, seeking international intervention. Addressing the Women in Parliament session at the Inter-Parliamentary Union IPU meeting in New York, she denounced her suspension as an attack on democracy and women's rights, alleging it was retaliation for rejecting Akpabio's sexual advances. Akpoti-Uduaghan, suspended on March 6th following a dispute over Senate seating arrangements, urged the global community to hold the Nigerian Senate accountable for political victimization and gender-based intimidation. She rejected calls to apologize and vowed to represent her sexual harassment petition upon her return to the Senate, pledging to work with women's group to overturn her suspension. However, the Nigerian Senate claims that the suspension is linked to Akpoti-Uduaghan's sexual harassment allegation. In a letter, the IPU presented by Honorable Kafilat Ogbara, chairperson of the House of Representatives Committee on Women Affairs and Social Development, the Senate stated that the suspension was due to gross misconduct and unruly behavior. The letter, signed by Senate leader Okpeyemi Bamidele, accused Akpoti-Uduaghan of spreading deliberate misinformation and false narratives, maintaining that all Senate rules were followed. Despite the Senate's denial, Ogbara called for a comprehensive probe into Akpoti-Uduaghan's allegations against Akpabio, emphasizing the need for transparency. The ongoing controversy has sparked heated debate in Nigeria, with growing calls for an independent investigation into the allegations and the circumstances surrounding Akpoti-Uduaghan's suspension. Mr. Handover, I want to gather your thoughts on this report.
You see, in this, the old story, for some weeks now, and these issues have been going on.
Right.
To me, I think the Nigerian Senate, there are some issues that are supposed to be handled internally. Like I said, this Natasha, I know there was some weeks ago, the Senate President's wife came out and then debunked all that Natasha said concerning her husband. She also made claim that they are good family friends. Understand? They are good family friends. They have been together for some years now. They are very close family friends. As also, with the family, based on the statement she made, the claim that she made, if actually they are that close as a family, issue of this magnitude is not supposed to be blowed out. The area is saying that if, for instance, I'm just assuming what Natasha said is actually true, I would have suggested, if she has reported it to Akpabio's wife, to call the husband to order, because women talk to women. But in this case,
she said she's reported to her husband, and her husband has actually confirmed that he had spoken to Akpabio and, tried to call him to order.
Husband. She said she had reported to her husband.
To her husband. And her husband has also confirmed
that he has confronted Akpabio over this issue.
Yes.
And then, yeah, that was the right thing she did. But in the next, another one, what I expected her to have done then, since the husband have confronted and maybe the man still keep on pushing, he would have reported to the wife and said, please call your husband to order. If after doing that, this issue and the man keep pushing, now, Senate is not the right place to have reported that matter. Honestly, there are prominent men, there are people in this society that he knows that these people listen to will have called their attention. The reason why is as if we are just angry that this kind of matter is not the reason why they were nominated to the Senate. There are other pleasant issues in their respective constituency that they have never even voiced out. Bringing this matter to an open floor is like you are telling people, everybody to contribute. Something that will have handled among themselves. Now, for instance, the Senate have just denied that the suspension given to her is not about the sexual scandal. It's about misconduct and what have you. She's taking it to the international level. Number one, she has projected the image of the country itself. Outside, this is because this is a personal issue.
Now,
I'm just coming,
right.
because right now she's cutting across the angle where the women in politics are being marginalized, where they don't allow them to be vocal in their voice.
Right.
And these are the reasons. And so she mentioned about the sexual harassment issue again there in the red light. Number one, in the sense that she is making it, this is how it is. This is who Akpabio is. Right. Another mistake again that makes
you think that is a mistake she has made?
She made a mistake because number one, like I said, since the matter has got to this point,
right,
within the Senate level, within the Nigerian level, because she plotted out by putting a player, by officially tendering the matter to the Senate, which I saw it on the TV when she did that.
So why do you think the matter was tendered in the Senate? Because
she felt Akpabio, maybe the husband has spoken to Akpabio and he didn't respond, he didn't make change to that.
Okay.
And two, and based on what she read, what she presented at the Senate, she presented as seat where she normally sit
was
moved, and she considered it to be a part of a kind of a grievance based on she refusing the request
of the man.
Thank
you so much. We are going to come back to we are going to come back to that. But Mr. Ndubisi, now this matter has kind of blown out of proportion. Mr. Handover to God has said, in his opinion, he thinks it should have been handled internally. Now, what are your thoughts as regards this matter being blown to the IPU? What are your thoughts as regards this matter now being let out of the bag to the public, going to the US, airing it out? And I want you to, think about this on the grounds of the fact that we have only 4 women in Senate, and this is happening. What are your thoughts in that regard?
Well, we don't have to, she did the right thing by, speaking out about this kind of harassment. Because every day harassment goes on, whether it's from men or from women. So she speaks, she has the right to speak out. But I still wonder why she didn't speak out before her conduct on the Senate floor. So that means if they didn't rearrange her seat, she wouldn't have let Nigerians know what happened.
What if she didn't speak out because she already told her husband and she thought it has been handled, but now she's been punished for that? Is that a perspective that could have been possible?
That's her personal perspective. She sees it from that angle, that she's being punished because she refused the man's sexual advances. But the kind of society we have, women, you don't need to just like he said, to overblown issues, because if this issue of sexual harassment is looked into, you see that women even do more sexual harassment than men. Dressing indecently in public is sexual harassment.
Are you saying she was dressed indecently?
No, she didn't dress indecently.
So why is indecent dressing?
What I'm saying is that you don't use an opportunity for something else to air your opinion. She should have spoken out. If she had spoken out before this thing happened, everybody would have believed her. Are you getting it? That really she was.
If Mr. Handover to God rightly said that this issue should have been handled internally, yes. Her reporting to her husband was a seemingly great approach into handling it internally.
Yes.
Her husband's confirmation of, yes, she told me, yes, we are close family friends, sits kind of on a projection of...
What did he... Okay, if the man had spoken to Akpabio
right.
about it, and then Akpabio...
Right.
continue harassing her.
Now that part is not as clear, but then her seat was changed. Haven't filed that report to her husband, and that's
that's the only way I can blame the family, our own family. But the Nigerian elites, they need to understand that we are already in a situation where women feel marginalized. So if we have a few women that are trying to get up there, we should be able to support them instead of discouraging them. Because right now, some women may be discouraged, or some husbands, some men may be discouraged to encourage their husbands to go into
their
politics.
wives.
I mean, and their wives to get into politics because of this kind of thing.
Right.
So we should not bring down women. We should rather uplift them.
Thank you so much. Mr. Handover, it seems like you had something else to say before we wrap up.
Something I want to say.
Our time is already up.
And concerning this issue, the right person that was supposed to have upshoot this matter is not Natasha. It is the husband. Because, one, the husband was in the right position to take up this matter, not Natasha.
The husband did say he took it up.
He will have been the right person to bring it, or if it's the Senate, if they know that the Senate was the right place, will have been, the husband would have been the one.
The husband is not the Senator.
He's not the Senate, but she would have been the one, she would have used another too. You have been the one to, not Natasha presented her own matter.
But the husband does not have a seat, so he can't make a case for something that he does not have a seat. Right.
Like I said, outside Senate, there are, see, every boss has a boss. When the matter, the husband, Natasha is also a well-known person. They know, they have access to who is who.
Right.
To the presented matter. Understand now? If the husband doesn't have a seat in the Senate, there are other prominent there that he would have passed through and undo this matter.
Thank you so much for your insight on